Welcome to another exciting episode of Badminton Unlimited. Coming up on the show, we find out who's made early strides in the HSBC Race to Guangzhou rankings after an action-packed January. We're in Guangzhou to find out just how popular the sport is in China's third largest city.
热爱吧，因为也是从事相关行业。
And we speak exclusively with two-time para badminton world champion Niall McVeigh.
Traveled on my own. My coach Leslie, we connected through Skype the whole time, so we helped each other through that.
After 3 successive tournaments on the HSBC BWF World Tour in the month of January, let's take a look at who's taken charge of the HSBC Race to Guangzhou rankings. In men's singles, Malaysian 20-year-old Lee Jiajia leads the field with 3 quarter-final finishes in Thailand, Malaysia and Indonesia. Peradua Malaysia Masters 2019 runner-up Chen Long is second, his conqueror in Kuala Lumpur, Son Wan Ho, clinching the 4th, with Daihatsu Indonesia Masters 2019 winner Anders Antonsen, while beaten finalist in Jakarta Kento Momota is tied in 8th with Indonesian Jonathan Christie. In women's singles, India's Saina Nehwal is on top with victory in Indonesia and a semi-final finish in Malaysia. Carolina Marin, who ruptured her ACL in Jakarta, is second with back-to-back final appearances. Peradua Malaysia Masters 2019 winner Ratchanok Intanon is in third, while fellow Thai singles player Busanan Ongbangrungpan is in 5th after reaching the final of the Princess Sirivannavari Thailand Masters 2019. Over in men's doubles, Marcus Fernaldi Gideon and Kevin Sanjaya Sukamuljo continue to rule the roost with back-to-back titles in Malaysia and Indonesia. The second and third spots belong to Malaysians Goh Vi Shem and Tan Wee Kiong and Ong Yu Sin and Teo Yi respectively. Daihatsu Indonesia Masters 2019 finalists Muhammad Ahsan and Hendrius Setiawan are in 5th, behind Denmark's Kim Astrup and Anders Skarup Rasmussen. Women's doubles sees Japan's Misaki Matsutomo and Ayaka Takahashi take the lead following a win in Jakarta and semi-final finish in Kuala Lumpur. Indonesia's Gracia Poli and Apriyani Rahayu follow close behind after their runner-up finish at the Peradua Malaysia Masters 2019. World champions Mayu Matsumoto and Wakana Nagahara are in third with back-to-back semi-final finishes, while their compatriots and world number ones Yuki Fukushima and Sayaka Hirota are in 5th. Finally, in mixed doubles, Malaysia's Chan Peng Soon and Goh Liu Ying seize top spot with victory in Thailand, followed by 2 semi-final finishes. Beaten semi-finalist in Bangkok and Kuala Lumpur, Dechapol Puavaran and Sapsari Tiretanachai are a close second, and All England champions Yuta Watanabe and Arisa Higashino are third after winning the title in Malaysia. Daihatsu Indonesia Masters 2019 winners and world number ones Zheng Siwei and Huang Yaoqiong move up to 8th after their first successful run of the season in Jakarta. Next stop on the HSBC Tour is the Barcelona Spain Masters 2019. That gets underway on the 19th of February.
Hello and welcome to Guangzhou, the host city for the HSBC BWF World Tour Finals.
Guangzhou recently hosted the first ever HSBC BWF World Tour Finals, the first of 4 editions to be held in the Chinese city. One of the nation's 3 largest cities, Guangzhou has a strong history of badminton, thanks to a sound infrastructure and a sport-loving people.
羽毛球在广州这个城市里面是很受欢迎的，举办了世界上所有的这个大赛啊，被誉为是大满贯的城市，包括我们汤尤杯、苏迪曼杯、世界锦标赛、世界青年锦标赛，这些都大力的推动了我们广州市这个羽毛球的发展。那么我相信，通过这次总决赛落户广州之后，会更加的推动我们广州羽毛球的这个普及跟提高。广州羽毛球这个项目离不开我们市政府对这个项目的支持、关心和厚爱。多年来，我们广州市体育局把羽毛球这个运动项目是作为一个品牌项目去打造。
The city has not only famously hosted big badminton events, but has also gifted the sport with 8 Olympians. Names like Xie Xingfang, Zheng Jiewen and Wang Jiangming are synonymous with badminton. Guangzhou and the wider Guangdong region continue to develop young players with the hope of delivering badminton's next big star.
我叫林志良，今年13岁了。我打羽毛球已经5年了。羽毛球它非常的有趣，其他运动并没有带来这项给我感觉如此的快乐，就只有羽毛球带给我非常多的乐趣。
我叫马希翔，今年14岁，我打羽毛球已经8年了。刚开始是玩为主，然后呢，玩后面就开始打专业路线。有这个机会看到那些高手比赛，就比较兴奋，然后会向着他们前进，就向他们的目标这样子前进了。
因为广州通过多年的这个发展推动普及，现在我们广州的热爱羽毛球的羽毛球人口已经达到了300万了。所以通过搞更多的这个羽毛球的活动，还有举办更多的这种大赛，来共同来推进这个羽毛球运动的发展。
The sport runs in the veins of Guangzhou's population. Players, organisers, and most importantly, the fans lead a life that is intrinsically connected with badminton.
以前大学就比较好的氛围，就多人打，就跟着一起打到现在。3、4场。
他空的羽毛球
一般都是对，下班以后打。
下班就打。
对，有时间就打。像我们这个群里面，一个群里面我们是业余的嘛，都有几百人的，就是没事就打球。
热爱吧，因为也是从事相关行业，基层的羽毛球教练嘛，在小学里面很普遍，相当于是广州的4球。现在大城市的运动场所比较少吧，而且羽毛球呢，运动对身体的伤害也没那么高受伤几率比较小一点。之前有看过公开赛，觉得这种总决赛会比较刺激，会现场氛围会比较好一点吧。希望广州可以多点承办这种赛事。
With 3 more HSBC BWF World Tour finals destined for Guangzhou, it's anticipated that badminton will flourish even more in this city. In his first senior international tournament and at the age of 17, Niall McVeigh won the European Para-Badminton Championships in the men's singles short stature category. Fast forward 11 years later, the Irishman is now a 2-time European and also world champion. McVeigh's main sport as a teenager was swimming, but a serious ear infection forced him to give up competitive swimming and switch to badminton.
When I was 8 years old, that's when I started playing badminton. I played through with my father, and then he played at a club. So I just one day out of his club, I just wanted to go play with him, you know, at the club, and so I went and joined him and his other players that he was with, and I just started hitting. I used to hit with him every 10 minutes, you know, after his session was over. When I reached 10, that's when I sort of joined a junior club, a local junior club, and then did that for a few years, and then I started playing some junior leagues. Growing up, I always sort of had an understanding of sort of who I was, my condition, having dwarfism. So obviously when I did play against sort of other average sized kids, it never really did frustrate me, because I did know, and it's just, there's nothing I can really do about it. So I just enjoyed it so much, and never liked to get frustrated, because I just didn't really see the point in it, to be honest. And I suppose with my father always reminded me of that, just to enjoy it, and don't, you know, there's nothing you can do, just enjoy it as best you can, you know. I was about 14, so we got to know about the Dwarf Sports Association National Games, which they're held in England, so it's just like a UK National Games, which is held every year. Yeah, I went over there, and it was great starting to get to play with guys, you know, like myself, and then we kept doing that, and this was only every year we were doing that. We went and played, we come back every year, and this is, yeah, for another 4 years we did that. 2008 was a European Championship. Yeah, it was only about 8 of us, so it was, but when I went to that, it was just, it felt real, you know, like it was doing something, or was like, you know, I was properly in the badminton, you know, when I just experienced a proper sort of power event. And when I did that, obviously when I went out, I was 17. I actually won the men's singles there, so after that then I got a bit more sort of funding, you know, from people actually started to recognise me, you know, my own government, they give me some funding, and the council and things like that. And then from then on, it's just moved on gradually till like sort of now, you know, yeah. So 2011 was a big year for me, yeah, very good year actually. So obviously winning when I travelled to Guatemala and won my first World Championship in men's singles, which I was very, very proud of. A very good memory for me. But I suppose the build up to that for me was quite different. 2 months before I went to Guatemala, I actually moved to Australia, and I actually joined a little club out there. I got in touch with some people out there and joined a little club, and they helped me, you know, train out there before I went to Guatemala. Travelled on my own. My coach Leslie, we connected through Skype the whole time, so we helped each other through that. We just sit back at the hotel room every night, and yeah, and then I went out, played 4 matches. It took me 4 matches to win my first World Championships, yeah, so it was a very good memory for me. So 2013 I thought was a bit more special for me rather than from 2011. I wanted to win it, but I was expecting to win it, and I had my goals. You know, my goals was to win it. So obviously then, with the whole training block we had to build up to this, everything was going great. I won the tournaments beforehand. I think I won every tournament in that year, just carrying my form the whole year from the training and from the previous tournaments, and going out to Germany and winning the World Championship then was definitely more special, because I felt, you know, I did it in stepping stones, you know, so I progressed every tournament. And probably when I was a bit older also, I know it's only 2 years, but being older, winning it, I sort of appreciated it much more. You know, it sunk into me straight away as well. So yeah, that was a very special moment for me.
Time for a quick break here on Badminton Unlimited. But stay with us as we continue our conversation with Niall McVeigh and discover what the future holds.
Something I've always dreamed of, you know, from being a child, of competing in a Paralympics.
Plus, our pick of the top 5 plays from January. Welcome back. With more than a decade of participation in para-badminton, Niall McVeigh has seen and experienced the vast development of the sport. Para-badminton is set to debut at the Tokyo 2020 Paralympic Games, and with the recent announcement of its inclusion in Paris 2024, the two-time world champion's goal is no secret. McVeigh is focused on the job at hand, and his training is testament to his motivation.
So I always wake up 6 on Monday, you know, get my breakfast, head down to the training hall, train from 9 to 12, 3 hours. Then after that I would chill out for a few hours, go home, just relax, get more food, stretch. Then I would have another training session of badminton at 5. So I always try every day to get 2 sessions a day in, but that would sort of consist of not just on court. A lot of it would consist of obviously of on court, but a lot of fitness training, gym training, obviously physio work, massaging, because it's important to look after yourself throughout the day also. So one of the biggest things I need to work on is probably my speed, because obviously it takes a lot more court coverage for me to get around the court with my shorter limbs, and also having speed and having good strength in my legs for stopping, you know, moving. So yeah, the growth of power badminton from back then to now has developed hugely. So basically from the start, back in '93, badminton was only like a wheelchair event, standing event, where it would have been just like maybe a one-day tournament, something like that, and it wouldn't have been sort of recognised or, you know, sanctioned. It would have been just sort of friendly, you know. Whereas now it's sort of developed over the years, where obviously getting more players involved. There's been more categories that have been added into it, you know. You get your specific, you have 3 different stands and 2 wheelchair. You've got obviously us, short stature, and just as it went on, it's got bigger and bigger. But then obviously, then with BWF now getting involved, it's been a great help. You know, because they run it now basically just like the way they'd run their mainstream tournaments, like able-bodied tournaments. And now obviously with BWF it's a great thing for them, being on board with now helping us getting our sport into Paralympics. So this is where we are now, we're in Paralympics now, so it's basically the highest you can get to. So Tokyo 2020, really now I'm on a set programme now to build from now till the games. And it's going to be a lot of hard work, but I feel I have a really good team and a good structure around me. Myself, I feel excited for the actual challenge, to be honest. I'm really looking forward to it. It's something I've always dreamed of, you know, from being a child, of competing in the Paralympics. And yeah, it's going to be tough, but I am going to want to go into these Tokyo Games going for gold. So yeah, that is where I want to be. Yeah.
Before the start of the 2019 season, the badminton fraternity was hit by some surprising news out of Malaysia. The resignations of their top men's doubles Tan Wee Kiong, Go Vi Shem, as well as their mixed doubles pairing of Chun Peng Soon and Go Liu Ying. With the departure of these two Olympic silver medal winning pairs from Malaysian badminton's national body, the topic of shuttlers turning independent has come to the fore, a choice not so common among professional badminton players.
其实我们那时候在Asian Games 之后，我们就已经有这个想法。其实我也不能讲是我们自己突然间有这个想法，是有某方面他们暗示，就是觉得可能我们会达不到2020达到他们的要求，所以就是我们有人跟我们谈之后，所以我们才会开始有这个想法。
没有是说很大的决定啦，只是有这样的想法，然后讨论了过后就这样走了。
To me, everyone is professionals. It's whether you work inside the association within that framework, or you work independently outside. That's actually the two terms as I see it. The thing is that, of course, the association is providing a framework, and you are normally then inside the association and the training and so on, or you can choose to stay outside and become what you call independent. You have the training, you have the coaches, you have the facilities, you have the physios, the doctors, and whatever it takes. If you are independent, you are not having that same kind of facilities.
可以这样讲啦，就是当自己准备的话，有自己去进行。 自己去体会，然后在 BM 里面会有可能很多东西会别人帮忙，然后就感觉比较容易这样子。但是你出来外面，你就很多东西自己要去跑啊，去问啊，然后是一个学习机会啦。当然是蛮辛苦的。
我可以给一个例子，就好像因为每一个国家的制度不一样，像马来西亚它全是 association 在掌控，可是像日本这样，像台湾这样，他们不是整个语种去控制，他们是自己有自己的俱乐部，所以他们有时候出比赛的经费一半国家承担，一半是俱乐部承担，所以也就他们有一定的就是有一定的经费在那边，所以。 语种就不用承担这么大的一笔费用，可是，在马来西亚你可能很辛苦，因为我们没有一个俱乐部可以承担，所以全部的压力丢在球员身上。如果说有一个俱乐部是这样，或者是有 independent 的球员，他们可以自行找赞助，我们组成一个团，其实相对来讲可以是减轻语种的压力。
Michelle Lee is a great example. There's not a lot of funding in Canada, but she does phenomenal. But it is a lot on her own. She has to go out and find the sponsors and still perform. So it can be tiring, but then she can arrange her own tournaments and do what's good for her. It's the extra work that she has to think about physio and coach. The other teams don't have to worry about. Again, if you have Japan, you have the coaches, you have the physios, the video. So it's a little bit different, but I think it's good as well.
I think a lot of the players have been through the same training for years and years, and some of them maybe needs a change. I can understand that some players are choosing to do so after so many years under the same training system. In all honesty, I have kind of foreseen that this would happen, let's say in 10, 15 years time, that we will become a lot more, badminton will become a lot more like tennis, and the players are having their own independent setups and so on. But it's just happening a lot earlier than I anticipated it.
The HSBC BWF World Tour 2019 got underway with 3 back-to-back tournaments last month in Thailand, Malaysia and Indonesia. The action on court had lots of thrills and spills, so here are our top 5 plays from the month of January.
Oh no! He's made that as well! How did that happen?
Good return of serve by Siwei.
Oh, super rally! And the queen of the mixed court puts it to the ground.
21.
Oh, what a get!
That's fantastic fighting there by Fukushima.
Oh, again, another one off the tee.
And Hirota following up, not able to finish it. And it's called out on the back line.
What a rally.
Awesome play. Fantastic badminton here from the beginning of this men's doubles final. Well saved by Gideon, but look at the shot here from Ong Yu-sin. The payback there by Momota. Really, really well played by Momota. Antonsen doing everything right here.
9.
Oh. Look at that one.
Let's now have a look at what some of your favourite players have been up to on social media this past week. Well, that's it for this episode of Badminton Unlimited. Join us again for a very special episode next week as we hang out with Carolina Marin in Spain. And we speak exclusively to Fernando Rivas, the man behind the revolution of Spanish badminton.
Empecé poco a poco como preparador físico y segundo entrenador. Y bueno, el principal obstáculo al que me enfrenté fue a la falta de credibilidad de mi método, porque era algo muy diferente a lo que se había hecho hasta entonces.
In the meantime, do remember to log on to bwfworldtour.com for all the latest news and features on the HSBC BWF World Tour.